Hey, Dean Storr here with the Dean Storr Coaching and Training Team, and also Professor Mindshift. And what I do is I'm a Mindshift professor. So one of the things I want to talk about today is why we keep doing the same things over and over and over again, and getting it, thinking we want a different result, right? So one of the things that I want to show you is how we show up on this earth, how we show up on this planet. And as a child, as a little baby, we really kind of, if you can look at this, like this is a child as we come up on this earth. And it's like a bowl. This is your subconscious part of your mind, right? So do you know that when we're a baby, we're linguistic geniuses. And if you think about it, you can take a baby out of a Japanese home and you can bring them into a home in Texas, in the United States. That baby will look Asian, but it'll grow up with a Texas accent, right? And will not even know what Chinese or Japanese or whatever country he came from. And he looks Oriental and the whole 9 yards. And so he's a linguistic genius. It's amazing. So if you think about a child coming on this earth and think about all the ideas and all the people around you, think about the images that you have, right? Think about the people around you. And all of these ideas and these things are coming in here just to really form your self-image. To form your self-image. And also, not only to form your self-image, but it is conditioned, right? It's where our fixed habits come from, is this part of our being. And so when the child comes and he starts to get of age, what happens is they begin to do things and act. And one of the things that just is kind of strange to me is sometimes I'll say to myself when I was growing up, man, I sound just like my dad. Some people will say, well, I sound just like my mom. Or we do certain things in a certain way. And so what happens is there's tradition and there's culture. And if you think about tradition, if you think about culture, if you think about the environment that you grew up in, some people will say, I don't want to be rich because I don't want to be that person. I don't want to be a snob. I don't want to be somebody who is taking somebody else's money because they're crooks. Everybody has money, or they're all crooks. Right? Well, where did that come from? Who said that? When we were sitting at the dinner table, maybe I'm a Democrat, maybe I'm a Republican, or maybe I'm one that is not. But yet, if I'm a Democrat or a Republican, and I vote this way, why do I vote that way? Have you ever asked yourself the question, why do I eat the foods the way I eat them? Why do I have? I mean, you can look at these places that are these fast food restaurants, and people can't even walk out of their car, and they're going in to poison themselves even more. Where did that come from? That came from commercial after commercial after commercial, and bombarding you with a sizzling bacon and a hamburger and the putting it on the bun and everything. The next thing you know, you're going through the window ordering your food. Isn't that crazy? Why do we do the things that we do? It's because we've been conditioned. Let me show you something that's a lot of fun. I'm going to write some numbers down here. I'm going to show you how easy it is to put you in a box. Okay? There's 5, 10, 15, 7, 8. Now, I want you to pick any number. And so you might pick any number, right? So maybe it's a 10. I'm going to ask you, why did you pick the 10? Well, it's my lucky number. And I'll say, did you hear what I asked you? And 95% of the time, this is so amazing. 95% of the time, I will hear you said pick a number. I said, I didn't say pick a number. I said pick any number. But yet, I put you right in a box. And you jumped aboard. And I said, pick any number. You could have picked 1,000,000. You could have picked 1,000,000,000. But yet we're so conditioned. We're so programmed. I mean, why do we wear the clothes that we wear? So if you're going to shift your thinking, you have to think differently. See, we need to think not When you're thinking about boxes, right? You've heard this story before, many times. You've heard it over and over and over again. Just think outside of the box. Just think outside the box. Right? And so we think outside of the box, guess what we make? We make another box. And then we think outside of the box, and we make another box, and we think outside of the box, and we make another box, and you know what happens? We get exhausted. We get so frustrated. We get so discouraged because you know what? I'm just creating the same thing with maybe just a different face on it or a different color. And so we get burned out, and that's why people stop. Yeah? If you look at the pulpits today and ministers, they're quitting every day, thousands of them, all the time. Why? Because they're burned out. People that have businesses, they're quitting because they're spiritually burned out. So we don't have to think outside of the box. Here's something that'll hurt your head right now when I'm going to say this. We have to think outside of our thoughts. Now, how in the world do you do that? I mean, that just, think about that. Ouch, that hurts. How do I think outside of my thoughts? How in the world would I do that? That's why you hire Professor Mindshift, because I'm the Mindshift professor. Thanks for showing up. If you're interested in getting a hold of me, go to deanstorecoaching.com.